Hey, Fletch,
My
thanks
mic
for
on?
doing this. Let's get started right away. Go ahead, Nick Fierro.
Hi, Fletcher. Thanks for doing this. Welcome back. The defensive line, the interior defensive line, seems like it's a strength now. I know you had Malik last year and Hassan last year, but they both went out with injuries. And now you have them both back along with Javon Hargrave. What do you think that's going to do for not just your run defense, but your pass rush?
I think it's a really good thing, especially to have all those guys back. Malik and Hassan. Now you got Jay that's coming in. I think it's a really good group, and it'll be a solid group. Along with all the other guys that's in the room that I played with last year. It's a really solid group, and I'm just looking forward to getting back to football with those guys. With Malik and Jay coming in. So. I'm really looking forward to it, man. It's a lot to contribute. It'll be a really good rotation, whatever we decide to do, and I'm just excited for those guys.
Go ahead, John, and then Damo.
Hey, Fletch, thanks for doing this. What was Doug's messaging to you guys when he had to go into quarantine, and how seamless have things been since you have him doing things virtually and Deuce on field when you're doing the walkthroughs and things like that? How does that work for you guys?
I mean, Doug's doing a really good job, man, of leading his team virtually. And it's just one of them deals where right now, we just have to be able to adapt, as a team. We know a lot of stuff is going to happen during the season. We just have to adapt to it. And Doug is the leader that we all know. He's doing a really good job leading us virtually. Deuce is doing a really good job of doing it, handling everything. The players are doing a good job. So everything is going pretty smooth.
Go ahead, Paul, and then Mike K.
Yeah, Fletch, you're on your, third defensive line coach in 3 years, I believe. What are your impressions of Matt Burke, and how is he different in his approach to the two guys that have coached you before that?
I mean, every coach have their ways of coaching. Matt, he's got a lot of energy. Phil had a lot of energy. Chris had a lot of energy. It's just it's gonna be different drills. Different ways he coach, different techniques, and I just got to be able to adjust on the fly. Matt's he'll be in the room, and he's the guy now. So right now we're just going through just normal football stuff, talking some technique stuff on how he want stuff done his way, and I just got to get it done.
Mike, and then Kristen Rogers.
Hey, Fletch. Derek Barnett's facing a pretty big year. I've heard that he's super motivated. From your perspective, what do you think his outlook is this year? How has he kind of attacked this offseason, and how are you guys handling this whole transition during this coronavirus?
Man, Derek is one of the guys I know all offseason. I kept real in close touch with, and I know, man, he's worked his butt off. I know he's had a couple injuries and missed a couple seasons, but I know Derek. He always, when he was drafted, he always, felt like he had a point to prove to anybody, to the whole world. But Derek, he showed up as always. Derek's always show up in shape, ready to go, focus on his job. Always ready to learn more. So, I'm excited for Derek too.
Go ahead, Kristen, and then Dave Zingaro.
Hey, Fletch, hope you're well.
Hey.
Obviously, there's some big changes because of the COVID protocols for you guys during training camp. I'm curious if there's one that sticks out as maybe the hardest one that you've had to adapt to, and how you feel like those are now becoming second nature for you guys so you can focus on the football on the field.
I say that the hardest thing was really to adapt to was I think having a mask on at the moment you walk into the building, and having to keep that mask on during meetings, and just doing all the process, talking to your teammates, keeping that mask on in the weight room, just walking around the halls, and I feel like this building right here is probably safer than any other place probably in the city. I think that Mr. Lurie and his organization did a really good job of making sure that the players are safe, and I feel really safe here.
Go ahead, Dave, and then Bo Wolf.
Hey, Fletch, you mentioned Javon Hargrave. What have been your impressions so far of him, and how long will it take for you to get comfortable playing next to him? I guess you have just the training camp to figure it out.
Well, I mean, that's for any player. I think everybody I play with. I talked about it a few times when when Timmy was here. It took a while to us to get on the same page. You just don't learn those things overnight. Malik, I didn't have a training camp with Malik. We only had like really a half of a game under our belt. So we really never really got that into the same groove, but it's going to take some time. I think the main thing for him is, just going out playing fast, learn the defense, which he's doing a really good job at, catching on the things that we do. And the realest thing is just going out and getting a repetition with him. I think it's going to take a lot of repetition with, for him and me to get on the same page, a lot of communication, and, so far so good.
Oh, and then Zach Berman.
Hey, Fletch, I wonder if you could tell us a little bit about, organizing the workout that you did with the D linemen, what that was like, and, what were some good stories?
I think, it was good. It was one of them things where, we didn't know if it was going to be an off season or not. And, I knew I had the place to get all the guys down to my place in Texas. So, I reached out to all the guys and, actually I told the guys, hey, if you feel safe coming down, let's all get together as a group. As a D-line unit and, try to knock some things out. Let's get a couple of days we can get some work in and, just kind of hang out, be around each other. That way we're not away from each other for so long and, get to training camp and nobody seeing anyone. So I feel like it was a good chance for me to get the guys together down at the ranch and, everybody had fun, to say the least. Got a bunch of guys did some stuff they'd never done before and, so I was very happy, to present that to those guys.
Like what? What do you mean stuff they'd never done before?
They've never rode horses before. So a couple like guys like Derek and Bruce, they never rode a horse before. I think the funniest thing was obviously it's a ranch and I got cattle and stuff and a bunch of wildlife. So Malik wasn't really. He didn't like the mosquitoes. He's a Cali kid, so the mosquitoes and the flies he kind of stayed inside. But you had a lot of guys that, that just did a bunch of stuff. We shot some skeet. They never done it. Everybody sucked at first until about, 20 minutes into it. Everybody, started catching on to it. So, it was a good thing for the guys to get around.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Zach, and then Les.
Hey, Fletcher, I wanted to follow up actually on those workouts. Who stood out to you on the field in that part of it, and what made you decide to do it now as opposed to past years? You mentioned wanting to get it together, but is this a point in your career where you felt that was important for you?
Now I have the place actually now kind of house all those guys. I was able to house everybody comfortably out there. Everybody had their own bed, and I had the space. But now it's just one of them things that it was very important to me that I did that. To let those guys know, hey, I'm here for you guys. Let's all get together and get it done. Once the guys got there, we had everything laid out, food, places to stay, and guys enjoyed it. We was going to kind of try to get it done again, but things had got really bad. And guys I just told guys, hey, y'all just stay where y'all at, and we'll get together during training camp.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Les, and then Daniel Gallen.
Hey, Fletch. On that same theme, I know you can't wear masks when you're working out and stuff, but when you brought the guys in, you said if you feel safe, come down. Were you able to do anything when they were there to sort of safeguard people from contaminating one another or anything like that?
Well, the biggest thing is, everywhere we went, I've got two really good ladies that work out there, and I told them, I asked them, hey, when guys wake up and go in their room, make sure you're spraying everything down, make sure you're washing their bedspread, making sure, that everything is getting sprayed every day. And it was one of those things that, Stephanie and Sue, they stay really on top of it, the two girls out at the ranch. And, we try to make it as safe as possible. The field we worked out on, we make sure everything was fine. It was just only us out there. And guys just really having a good time and getting some quality work in.
Go ahead, Dan, and then Ruben Frank.
Fletch, last season you were coming back from injury for most of the offseason. Was anything different about your workouts this year? And, how do you feel coming into shape in the camp now, with the offseason that you had?
It's a good one. I was able to go back to my normal workouts. My toe is feeling really, really good. No setbacks. I was able to go back to my normal routine off-season workouts where I just take take the steps that I normally take when I was healthy, and now I am healthy. So everything is good to go now, and I don't have any setbacks. So I have camp is only 2 weeks, but I'll be able to participate in everything now and not be on the side working out.
Ruben, then Martin.
Hey, Fletch, going into year 9 now, what can you get better at? You made 5 straight Pro Bowls and All-Pro. What motivates you to get better, and where can you improve at this stage of your career?
I just want to get better at everything. I was watching some film actually yesterday. We was all in there. I was watching some film, and I know a couple things I can do to get better at. I got to work on those things during training camp. I feel like if I can, at some point get off a box, I can make probably 3 or 4 or 5 more sacks out there for me. So there's just small things like that if you can get off it. And just when you look at it on tape, and you're like, man, if I would have got off that a second sooner, it's a sack. It's just little things like that I've just been pointing out, and just not only me getting better, just making the whole group around me better.
Martin, and then Jamie.
Hey, Fletch. Obviously last year you never really had the chance to play next to Malik with both of you guys fully healthy. Now you have Malik healthy, you're healthy, and you have Javon Hargrave. And, a lot of people were saying, well, you guys didn't do a whole lot to upgrade at defensive end. I mean, do you feel like, getting the push up the middle could be just as valuable as, like, adding a really good pass rusher as far as, getting at the quarterback?
Yeah, I think the thing is you have to trust the guys in this building. You got to trust Howie and Andy, and the decisions that they make. So I think with us 3 healthy and being a really good rotation, that it should be really good for this for this team. Like you said, the defensive line. We have to be the group that lead this team. So I'm really looking forward to it.
We've got time for a couple more, so we'll do Jamie, Ed, and Tim.
Hey, Fletch, thanks for doing this. We've seen with Lane and now Coach Peterson, and we've seen what happened in other sports like baseball with the virus kind of spreading through locker rooms and whatnot. How safe do you guys feel heading into this camp? And how confident are you that this is actually going to work and we're going to get the season off?
I feel safe. There's, protocols we have to go through before we come in the building. There's things we have to do before we even walk, open the door. So, I feel really safe. And, when you go home, you just have to do the right thing. Just stay in the house, making sure that you're staying on top of things. And I feel really good about the season. I think, it'll be a season. There'll be ups and downs. And like I said when I opened the interview, there's just some things that we have to adapt to. You have to adapt to it and, get used to it. So it's just things that we need to do to adapt, and know there'll be changes here and there. But we can't let that distract us and, from our main goal, and that's, starting the season and finishing it.
Ed, and then Tim.
Hi, Fletch. Kind of piggybacking on that subject, you as a team leader obviously have to talk to a lot of your teammates about different things. Has there been more discussion now about making sure you stay safe, and maybe even players talking about the decision to stay or not to stay for this season?
You just have to, let the younger players know that don't know that, at the end of the day, we all have to make the right decision. That's to be safe, keep each other safe, know that, hey, I need you on Sunday. So, no matter who it is, I need you on Sunday. So when you leave here, and when you're here, to make sure that you're doing the right thing to keep everybody safe, because it's not just a one-man sport. There's 10 other people on the field with you. You got to make sure we're taking care of our coaches, especially our older coaches, making sure we're not, bringing anything in the building that affect our coaches, and just keeping the Eagles safe.
Tim.
Fletch, tomorrow's the opt-out deadline for players. What was the process like for you on deciding whether or not to play for the 2020 season?
Oh, I knew I was playing. I love this. I love this game so much, and I knew that, from talking to guys around this organization and just feeling safe was the biggest thing. And here I feel safe. So I knew I was going to play, and I'm excited about it going into my 9th year. So I'm excited and ready to roll.
Thanks, Fletch. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.